and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Biden is going to be unveiling a plan for 1,400 stimulus payments, unemployment extension. So it's gone down from 2,000. This is really kind of disheartening, particularly when I was just talking with my friend of mine. We were doing our own show, Talknosis. He pointed out that out in Canada, folks are getting $2,000 a month.
Some of the Canadians, I guess, are smarter than us. There.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows what's going on? But we were promised. Joe Biden said that after the election, if the Democrats get the Senate, we're going to get another $2,000 stimulus check.
I heard that he said we're going to get another 330.
No, Dan.
Wait.
No.
Yeah. Well,
So what's going on?
So what's going on is he's planning to do an unemployment extension, some more support for small businesses. Again, this may be too little too late. I mean, I think it is too little too late at this point. We've got, as I've pointed out, moratoriums on evictions are winding down. We've got food banks that are slammed with requests that they simply can't keep up. We know that there are people being thrown off of unemployment rolls, and they cannot contact unemployment because the unemployment offices are closed. It is a serious situation. We also know that a lot of people did not get their $600 stimulus check because they filed their taxes through some of the major tax preparation services electronically, and either their money got sent to the wrong bank or they're not getting it at all, and they're going to have to claim it as a credit on their taxes. Well, if they actually owed taxes this year, they're not going to see that money at all. So this is grave. Mm-hmm. And $1,400 is not going to cut it. $2,000 wasn't going to cut it, but this is, but I am happy to see an unemployment extension. I don't know, I know people who still have not received their unemployment from last year.
My goodness.
And I would just add into this that this is now twice in a row that we've seen Biden, before officially becoming president, say expect less than we were originally going to offer you. They were originally going to, Nancy was originally going to go with $1,200 or something around that mark. And then Biden's like, no. 600's enough. 600. That's it. We'll just do 600. It's past the election. They can't argue any real political point on that. And now that they got everything that Biden said that he would get, which was the House, the Senate, really the Senate in this case, now he's like, I know I said 2,000, but screw off.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Last week I was talking about the debit cards that some people were going to receive their stimulus money via a debit card being sent to their home. I showed you a flyer from the National Consumer Law Center that showed you how you could identify that the card was the real thing. Some people did get paper checks, and one issue that has been coming up is some people don't have banks, so they are having difficulty cashing their paper checks. So Kiplinger, a personal finance magazine, well respected, has some tips for you. A couple of things that you can do. Some local banks, even if you don't have an account there, will cash your stimulus check. You may have to pay a small fee, but you may be able to do that if you have a couple of photo IDs. You'll probably need two to do that, but that's one option for you. Walmart stores, some other major stores that will cash checks, oftentimes will, for a small fee, cash a federal check like this. Now, one of the useful things about both these places as well as check cashing stores is, in some cases, they will automatically load those funds onto a debit card for you, which means that you're not walking around with a whole lot of cash. Now, the thing is, debit cards can have fees if you are taking money out of them from ATMs and that sort of thing. However, I know that several of the department stores, major big box stores, if they have debit cards that you can go to a particular network of ATMs, and you will not have to pay the fees. So you can check with the store, check with the debit card company to find out where their fee-free debit ATMs are, and you can use those. You can also use the card sometimes at checkout and get cash back at checkout. Typically, there is no fee for that, although there might be in some places. I think Dollar Tree now charges a fee, but many stores don't. So that's another option for you. If you do have PayPal or one of the other payment processing companies, personal payment processing companies, in some cases you can deposit a check into that account. There is they have an app where you can take a photo of the check and it will deposit it into your account. And of course, again, there are the currency exchanges and check cashing stores. Many of these options do involve fees. I'm sorry to hear it because we don't have a national banking system. People have been asking for a while, why not turn post offices into banks that offer?
Because it makes too much sense.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But these are some options for you. Again, this is the kind of information, if you already have it, it might be helpful if you can pass it on to family or friends who are maybe feeling kind of frantic about having this check that they can't cash or they're concerned about cashing.
Yeah. I just wish things were a little bit easier, and I wish that stimulus check would be followed through. But, Democrats, people are going to remember when you back away from your promises, all while we're still struggling. We need continuous stimulus checks. There's no debate. There's no conversation about it. We need them now.
And quick question on all this. Is it possible for someone to take this check and use it to open a bank account?
Sure. It could be used. The banks are pleased to work with the federal check because
We'll take that money.
Yeah,
We'll take that money. Yeah, sure. Why not?
And the other thing that I would point out is that there are banks, even if you've had issues, say, for example, let's say you don't qualify for a standard bank account because you got onto check systems, which is like a credit bureau for people who write bad checks. Some banks are offering alternatives to that. Essentially, they are check-free checking accounts where you are given a debit card, you do not get paper checks, and you can do your banking that way. So you might want to ask if your bank has a second chance bank account. There are companies like the Green Dot Network, various debit card companies, fintech companies are offering app-based banking. And again, there are some fees that can come with those, but many people report, and I've used some of them myself. I have a standard checking account, but I've got a business, so I use something separate. Report a certain level of satisfaction with those newer banking options. They're not perfect. I like having a physical branch that I can go to, but it can be an option for you if you want to have your own checking account and not have to rely on cashing checks at stores.
Yeah, I've been very happy for a long time. This is not an endorsement in any way, shape, or form, but I use Ally. Use them. I've been using them for a while. They don't have any physical locations, so you have to, you meander in certain cases, but it's been pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about them. And not an endorsement either. Just saying I heard some good things too. I heard good things.
Heresy.
But do your own research, folks. There we go.